Wednesday, my dudes. Wednesday, my dudes.
And welcome into We Talk Sports Good. We are here again on Wednesday as we have just wrapped up a college football season. We have now as well got a big NBA trade that just broke a few hours ago, and then we have the full swing of NFL playoffs. So a lot to get into here, Randall. It was an exciting week for sure, and lots of action to touch base on.
Yeah, for sure. It was a good week in sports, you know. Good weekend of playoffs, then the championship game to top it off, even though it wasn't necessarily the best game. But and then already some excitement this week with the trade. So
yeah, exactly. And then for those of you, hockey did start as well, their regular season tonight. And we have a lot of other great shows. I will default to hockey because I know we have a lot of hockey guys that know what they're talking about. So just go and check out the 12-Ounce Sports channel and all the replays on SoundCloud, on Spotify, on iTunes. So we got it all covered, and they will get you the better information on hockey. If you want to go any betting routes or just any kind of insight into the season, they will get you covered very well. So we'll stick to our bread and butter of football, and of course sprinkle in some of the NBA and baseball when we're getting closer as well. I don't think we ever touched on the Francisco Lindor trade. Actually, speaking of trade, since we were going to talk Harden, did we talk on that at all?
I think we might have touched on it briefly, but not particularly.
Yeah, so there you go, your Mets right there making splashy moves.
Is the Cubs Chris Bryant trade still in play?
I haven't seen anything develop on that. So it'll be interesting to see kind of where it goes. I believe they're still in on Trevor Bauer as well and George Springer. So man, if they just get one of those guys, that's a huge jump. This
now
is a
with Chris,
nice ownership group really going all out. They're showing it.
Now Chris Bryant plays third and first, right?
And outfield.
Or does he pretty much stay at third?
He really has been playing third and outfield actually a lot. The Cubs did play him out in the outfield a lot, so that would bring very good flexibility for the Mets because, and obviously with Cano, with his year-long suspension, you could move McNeil, who is a very good get on base average hitter, but he doesn't have a lot of power. So if you want to play Chris Bryant at third, you can. If you rather, maybe keep or McNeil on third base because he does play good defense, then Chris Bryant can handle the outfield just as well. Yeah. So look at your Mets. They're setting themselves up for something really good or a heartbreak like they usually do.
Is it weird that I almost want the heartbreak? It's the love. It's the love.
It'll be interesting. There's still more moves to happen, so keep an eye out. They're willing. They're going for it. So, speaking of also other teams just going all in, the Nets with the James Harden trade, and I mean I know they were facilitating the trade, for a while now, but I feel like after last night, I mean he really forced that.
Yeah, and so basically what happened was the deal was on the table with the Sixers. Rockets wanted all three, Ben Simmons, Tyrese Maxey, and Matisse Thybulle, plus picks. Sixers weren't willing to give that, so they went to the Nets trade, which full details. Nets get Harden, second-round pick. Rockets get Oladipo, Dante Exum, Curix, I believe is how you pronounce his name. 4 first-round picks and 4 pick swaps.
Yep.
Cavs get Jared Allen, Taurean Prince, and then Pacers get Karis LeVert in the second-round pick.
Correct.
So I don't know if I haven't gotten to watch a lot of talking heads in sports talk about this yet. So I might be the minority, I might be with the majority, but I am in the camp that I think the Nets became a worse team today, actually. I don't like them giving up Jared Allen. I really like Jared Allen. I really don't like them giving up Karis LeVert. Karis LeVert is really good. He comes off that bench when everyone's healthy and plays really well and gives them solid minutes and scores quite a bit. I think the Pacers will be really excited to get him. They don't want to pay Oladipo. Oladipo's contract is up after this season, and everyone knows Oladipo wants to be paid like he's a superstar, and he's not. He's a very good player when he's healthy, and he's not always healthy. And the Pacers got Karis LeVert, who is on contract for another I think 3 years, maybe this season and then 2 more, I believe. And it's a relatively low payment for what he's probably going to bring them. So I like what the Pacers got out of this. I like what the Rockets got out of this, depending on what they're planning on doing with Oladipo. I'm not sure what their plan is. They got those first-round picks and those swaps. That's good. I don't imagine that they care much about Axum or Curix. Both of those are probably going to be guys that are going to go away, so it kind of just depends on what they get out of Oladipo. But with the Nets, honestly, what it comes down to is you look at their starting lineup, and this is if Kyrie can play, right? I mean, we have no clue what's going on with him right now. You have Kyrie, Harden, Joe Harris, presumably, KD, and then probably DeAndre Jordan starting. I don't imagine they'll start Claxton. I think they like Claxton coming off the bench. I like Claxton actually quite a bit.
Let me double check.
Was it ESPN that was the one that tweeted the Jeff Green starting?
Yeah, and then
no, that's not what's going to happen.
Like, I was surprised too to see myself in the graphic.
Yeah, no, that will not be happening. Whoever made that graphic needs to be fired ASAP because that's horrendous. No, it'll be DeAndre Jordan most likely. I like Claxton a lot, but he probably won't be starting for them. Not yet, at least. He's still young. But I don't know. Kyrie, KD, and James. First off, I think there's no way that this goes well in the locker room. There's just no way. I just don't see it. I don't see it at all. Plus, you got Dinwiddie, who's got a partial ACL tear. I don't know how he's probably out for the season, right? I would assume.
That's what I believe they said.
He actually might be getting surgery. He might have already had surgery. I'm not 100% sure. I'm still in football mode, so I'm not completely up to date with all that. But I don't know, man. I don't like it. I don't like it for them. I feel like they sold a lot of really good players for something that they're unsure of. They don't know if it's going to fit with them. I think that's asking a whole lot to manage all those personalities for a first-year head coach, never coached in his life. I just don't like it. I don't think they're going to be a better team with him. I really don't. The only team that I think got better today is... I mean, technically the Cavs got better, I guess. They didn't really get... But also, I don't like that for the Cavs, because what are you going to do now? You have Andre Drummond, JaVale McGee, you have K-Love.
Like they added a lot of big men on their team.
Yeah, they have Drummond, K-Love, JaVale McGee, and then I'm blanking on his name. Yeah, Jared Allen, who they just picked up. And I would imagine this means they're not done in the trade.
Yeah, I would assume that means Love's getting traded soon. And
I would say that means Drummond's getting traded.
I was saying both.
Oh, possibly both. Yeah, I wouldn't hate them both getting traded, because then you're looking at a starting lineup of Sexland, and then Okoro and Larry Nance Jr. and Jared Allen, which Larry Nance Jr. has actually had a pretty good season so far. So I wouldn't hate that lineup for them, really. I would actually like that better than Drummond and K-Love, because then you're getting your young guys playing time, which is what you want. I get that Larry Nance Jr. isn't necessarily the youngest dude out of all of the... He's probably like what, 26 now, I would think, but still.
Yeah, I mean, and he's not going to
It's still
cost a lot.
relatively. Yeah. So, I don't know. The only team that I really like out of this entire trade is the Pacers, just because they know they don't have to pay Oladipo.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, other than that, like I'm not a huge fan of this trade. That's just me. I don't think the Nets became better today. That's just how I feel.
It is the East, though.
I mean, that's fair, but the East still runs through Milwaukee to me. Plus Boston.
Yeah.
At least the East runs through Milwaukee in the regular season. I'll say that. But I'm picturing teams like Milwaukee, who Giannis is gonna, what are they? Is DeAndre Jordan gonna stop Giannis in the paint? No, I mean he could have probably 10 years ago, well less than that, but you know, are they gonna, if they somehow made it to the playoffs? Do you think anybody on that team can stop AD or even slow him down? No, I mean their defense is horrendous now. It is really bad. So I don't know. I am not impressed with it.
All right. Well, we shall see. If it will pay off at all for the Nets. And,
yeah.
I mean, I don't think it matters at all what the regular season record will be. It's only will matter how far in the playoffs.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll keep an eye on that, of course, and we'll move into probably a quick topic here is the College Football National Championship game. 52-24, which turned immediately to, is this the best team ever? After we just had the discussion, was the LSU team last year the best team ever? I feel like it. Obviously, now we're just going to say that every year, but I think it was still the LSU team.
You think the LSU team is better than this one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think the Bama team got better on offense this season than they were last season, obviously. But then I feel like their defense is not necessarily better. So, I don't know. I think it would be a good game between those two.
But, I mean, you think about it. I mean, most of these players were the same starters at the end of the year for Bama last year.
Yeah, pretty much
Smith,
the big...
Waddle, they had Judy and Ruggs last year.
Was Mac Jones starting at the end of the year?
Yeah, since Tua got hurt.
Yeah, although we can't say it's the same Mac Jones. I mean...
No, but, I mean, they had, the same weapons, though. Najee, Smith, Waddle, and Ruggs and Judy, though.
That's insane. That is so crazy.
So were they not offensively could have been better last year?
They should have been, yeah. Right. And I guess, yeah.
I guess that's kind of holding me up for the fact. Yes. Mac Jones came in as a, injured relief, and he did play very well last year. But this was the same team, a very similar team. I don't know.
Yeah, but then Najee turned it up this year to a different level. Obviously, so did Devontae Smith, but and then I think it does. I think you have to take into a big consideration the fact that Mac Jones had an entire season to play and really figured it all out, and I think they figured it out with him. I think Sarkisian really figured out how to use him probably better. I feel like last year they were more just please don't mess up.
Fair.
And this time they actually more utilized him the way he should. But I still think it's a good game. I don't know. I have no clue. I really don't.
I think LSU, if I'm remembering right, had they played more of a tougher schedule. For the fact that they, obviously you had actual non-conference games happening.
Yeah.
If you want to add in your Longhorns there. Because, that was a very highly anticipated game going in. That was a top 10 win.
Yeah.
They had that. They had a top 10 win versus Florida. They had a top 10 win versus Auburn, a top 10 win versus Alabama.
Yeah.
Then they
But
beat.
also, don't you feel, I guess this is kind of going back to the whole best team ever, don't you feel like there's a whole lot of recency bias in that?
Oh, yes,
like,
100%.
th-
We literally just saw LSU and said they were the best team ever, and then now we're like, oh, nope, this is the best team already.
But both teams, I'm like, are they? Like, there's some teams back in the day that I'm like, like, I don't think you could have beat, I don't know, like, I think it would be hard pressed to see them beating.
Miami?
Huh?
2001 Miami?
2001 Miami, some of those USC teams, I think, I know this is probably biased, but like the Texas team, the 05-06 Texas team, if you look at that defense, almost every single player on that defense is an NFL player. And had like a good NFL career. And then, you have one of the best college football players of all time and Vince Young, and they beat a team that is arguably on paper even better than them, and that USC team had already won a couple of national championships that, like, I don't know. There's a few teams that you go back and you look and I'm like, I don't know, like, and then there's teams that we have no idea about if you compare them, because, like, it's different age, like, eras. Like, I've heard my dad, who is an older gentleman, the best teams he talks about seeing are like the Nebraska teams in the 80s. He's like, you have no idea how dominant they were. He's like, that they were nothing I've ever seen. Like, talking about these Nebraska teams, which I don't know. It's not like I've gone back and watched those teams. But, I don't know. I think it's definitely a little recency bias. I don't know if LSU or this Alabama team is the best team of all time. But the point is they both have to be in the conversation because they're both that good. So,
yeah, that's fair. And of course, find it funny, of course, as soon as, a big blowout happens, or starts getting away, it's like, oh, turned into we lost to the Alabama by the same amount of points, and you say we're not a playoff team. Well, we're not. That's not the point.
Yeah.
They beat Clemson, which I don't think there's any doubt Clemson was a playoff team. So, no, I don't want to hear this as the argument of, oh, well, we lost the same amount to Alabama. Well,
right.
That doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You exactly, you did. And Ohio State had not yet. So why that argument doesn't make any sense.
Right. Yeah.
But
I agree with that.
Draft stock, I guess, kind of impact Shaun Wade. Ooh.
Rough.
I mean, I guess the one thing is, I feel like everyone's talked. He's supposed to be like a nickel or a safety, and they played him on the outside all year. So I don't know if he really helped himself with that. I mean, this doesn't help him getting torched for 200.5.
Mm-hmm.
But that's a rough one. I mean, I guess I've heard maybe he could come back again.
I don't think he needs to come back.
I don't think so. One bad game doesn't ruin it.
Yeah, it's one bad game, and it's a bad game against a Heisman-winning wide receiver. We haven't seen last Heisman-winning wide receiver was what?
Desmond Howard.
Yeah, Desmond Howard. Like, it is what it is, man. You had a bad game. It's fine. Like, everybody has bad games. It's not a big deal. Does it hurt him? Some, sure, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Does it hurt him enough to, like, bump him out of the first round? No. He's not gonna not go in the first round. He's that good. He's going in the first round. So I would still go if I was him. I wouldn't worry about that.
I would think so. And I mean, that was just a rough game plan for Ohio State. I mean, for the fact that at one point Devontae Smith had a linebacker named Tough Borland on him, and I don't know if you remember seeing that highlight, if you saw it, where the poor guy didn't look like he was running at all after him. But that was his sprint.
And the look on his face was like, I don't remember what happened pre-play on that one, but I feel like it was probably one of those things where it was like a sudden switch, and it was like, oh no, I don't have enough time to, like, alert someone I don't need to be doing this. Like, this is not, like, there's game plans, and, like, I'm supposed to audible when this happens. I'm supposed to cover this guy if he goes in. But like, I don't know what happened pre-play, but there's no way that they had actually meant to have him on there on Devontae. There's just no way. But either way, I don't know. It's tough because if Devontae Smith didn't go for 12 for 215, Najee Harris probably would have gone for 12 for 160 or something ridiculous like that.
They game plan Najee. I mean,
Yeah.
If you saw the post game where they said, "Oh man, you really dominated," opened up the holes. He's like, "What game were you watching?" And they took me away in this. I mean, running wise, he averaged 3.6. So if you want to stop
22
him,
for 79 yards. Yeah. I mean, that's a decent. That's fine.
I mean,
but it's not what he does.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. I mean, they game plan for Najee. If they would have game planned for Devon, which is interesting to game plan for him instead of the Heisman winner. But
I guess they really had that much faith in Sean Wade to just shut him down.
That, or they thought that maybe they could expose Mac Jones a little bit. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they felt like if they could shut Najee Harris down, play action wouldn't be there as much. I don't know. But yeah, it is what it is, man. That's kind of pick your poison. The thought, no one ever thought Ohio State's defense was going to stop Alabama's offense. The question was, will Ohio State's offense be able to keep going against Alabama's defense?
Exactly.
So, and it just wasn't really there for Fields that night. So,
nope.
Or definitely not for their running game. So
I was just say, I mean, obviously Trey Sermon going down on the first play.
Yeah,
that's a rough one because of how well he was playing. And Master Teague's all right, but I mean, I don't know. He was definitely a better complementary back for the team.
Well, and Fields was their leading rusher. That says everything there. So
I was gonna ask two things. Oh, Devontae Smith or Jamar Chase? Who do you draft first?
I think I said a little bit of this probably like either last podcast or the time before that. I think I did. It was when I was talking about that I don't think Devontae Smith should run the 40. I think at this point, I don't think one necessarily has the edge on the other, just period. You know what I mean? I think it's what do you think your team needs?
Okay.
So, they're a little bit of different receivers. Who do you find more appealing? I think it just depends. I don't have the draft the draft numbers in front of me, like who goes where, but I imagine they'll both go in the top 10. I would think.
I'm assuming that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I mean, there's talks that people might want Waddle more just because of the speed. I would just say Waddle over Smith.
Are the Raiders in the top 10?
No, not yet.
No, not yet. Yeah.
Sorry. No, they are not. Okay, well, CBS has Jamar. This is out of everyone. Jamar 5th, Devontae 8th, Jalen Waddle 9th. So.
Yeah. Also, by the way, going back to the Ohio State-Alabama game real quick, imagine how much worse it could have been if Waddle was healthy.
Yeah, really.
Like, it could have been way worse.
Oh, 100%. I was going to say, quarterback. I want to ask you on the quarterback. Did this change any opinion on draft stock for you?
I think, from what it seems based on mock drafts, I'm in the minority where I'm still picking Fields over Zach Wilson. And I don't think I ever wavered on that. I've always wanted to go Fields over Wilson. I'm not necessarily a believer in either one of them when it comes to the NFL. I don't know. To be honest, I just haven't seen enough Zach Wilson to know if I believe in him or not. Fields, I'm just a little uneasy on. But not uneasy enough to not pick him with the second pick if I'm the Jets.
Okay.
But that is if you're picking a quarterback as the Jets.
Oh,
personally, I don't know.
You can't stick with Sam Darnold. No, you can't do that.
I don't know. I don't know. I think.
I think you just gotta wipe everything clean and just start over.
Yeah. All I'm saying is quarterback carousel is interesting this summer. There is some guys that I would be willing to, if I get the Oregon offensive tackle with that pick,
No.
and then I somehow move up and get another wide receiver. Maybe what if? Okay, let me try to sell you on this. They have the second pick and what, the 25th pick, something like that. Well, they probably don't know yet.
Well, yeah, they do.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, because that would have been final since the Seahawks lost.
Oh, yes. So I want to say it's the 25th pick then.
Let me pull up.
Yeah, look that up. But anyways,
23rd.
23rd. Okay, so picture this. They pick Sewell, then they move up. They somehow they use that pick that they have in the first round and maybe the next year's first round, because they have two first round picks the next year too.
Yeah.
So they package two first round picks. I'm pretty sure they have two first round picks next season. They package two first round picks. If that's not enough, they package like a fifth in there too or something like that. And they move back up in the top 10 and pick whichever one of the three wide receivers is left. And then they go and get either a Carson Wentz or maybe one of the older quarterbacks that's presumably going to move on, Matthew Stafford.
Okay. I thought you were telling me that they would be still sticking with Darnold then.
No, I'm saying that,
okay.
Like I said, the quarterback carousel this summer is going to be very interesting.
Okay. I could be sold on that. I thought you were trying to sell me on the Jets keeping Darnold, and that's a no.
No, I'm just exploring all the possibilities, Thomas.
Okay.
I said Thomas. Dom.
Okay, well that's
I'm just
interesting.
exploring all
Well, I know for sure we are. I said this, but I definitely want to. We will definitely, after the season officially ends, we will definitely have a QB carousel show where we put in some random predictions, serious or maybe some fun ones, but just for we'll grab Caleb and then we'll have 3 different carousels of just madness.
Yeah, it is. It's going to be insane. This offseason is going to be really interesting when it comes to quarterbacks. So.
Exactly. Well, all right. Well, I think we'll hit our break here real quick because that will work perfectly as we are starting to lean into the NFL here. We'll hit the break, and then on the other side, we will talk playoff action and this new week coming up.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag. Visit the sportsbook. Click on your bet and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
At Amazon, we're pretty good at getting things done. We're pretty good at solving problems. COVID-19 is the biggest challenge we've had to face. But challenges are what motivate us. Like flying masks to our employees around the world. We're doing everything we can to get you what you need. And doing everything we can to keep our people safe. I'm former Navy pilot Sarah Rhodes, and I'm proud to lead our Amazon Air Network.
And we are back on the other side of the break as we will be shifting into some NFL action. But I meant to say, I completely forgot, as we were talking basketball. I know it's not NBA, but how about Michigan being a basketball school now? Just want to give that shout out. With the
We're still higher ranked than you.
Utter dominance of Wisconsin.
Hey, Texas is number 4. Don't disrespect us.
Well, you have denied being a basketball school, so...
We're not. We're both.
Yeah.
We're just a sports school, Dom. Yeah, I know you don't know anything about that. You don't know anything about success.
Have you not
but...
seen our baseball team last year as well? Or a couple years ago?
No. Did you win? Did you win the national championship?
We were in the national championship.
But you lost, because you're a bunch of losers, Dom.
When was the last time Texas was in a national championship?
In baseball?
In
Probably pretty recently, I think.
Nah, you guys haven't been there in a while. You've been down in the baseball.
Take it back. Take it back. It's fine. We win. Hey, we win swimming like almost every year. Yeah. So there's that.
Fair enough.
I guess.
That's fair. So one of my old coworkers who was at Tech, they're like, well, we have barbecuing or something like that. They have like a top barbecue program or something like that at Tech. So they're like,
well, that's stupid because Central Texas barbecue is better than any Texas barbecue. But that's just, that's just me. Dom, you know about that. We both lived in Belton.
Oh,
Miller's, dude. Miller's is out of this world good.
Miller's, yep. And did you ever go to Backyard Barbecue?
No, but I liked Shoaf's quite a bit too.
Yes,
Shoaf's was good.
Yeah, for the fact that we had Miller's, Shoaf's, and Backyard Barbecue.
Yeah.
If you were ever back in Central Texas, if you ever go down and visit our NBA guest Jalen Jury, do you take a trip to Backyard Barbecue?
I'll do that. Well, when you come to Longview some point, I'll have to bring you to Bodacious on Mobberly in Longview, Texas. It is continuously ranked in the top in brisket in the state of Texas by Texas Monthly Barbecue. So there you go.
All right. Well, I'm in. I know there's Cadillacs or is right around the corner from me. Actually, I need to go there.
Yeah, there you go, man.
So that's our barbecue hour here. And then getting into some NFL
everyone who's
plays.
not in the state of Texas is like, why are they talking about barbecue? Because it's almost as important as football in this great state of Texas.
You are missing out if you don't know real barbecue.
Yep, that in Kansas.
Yep. So football, like you said, the other thing here in Texas that is very much glorified. We have wild card. What was it they were calling it? I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't remember what they called it. Something kind of stupid.
Yeah. So we had wild card weekend here. So we had, 6 games, 3 on each day, since we only had the 1 bye week. So starting with the Saturday, we had the first game up. It was a close one there with the Colts and Bills. The Bills hold on and.
And Dom, Thomas, and Randall lose money early.
First game of the day, we are out on the parlay.
We had a little parlay going and lost it all in the very first game.
Looking back, I think we were a little. I feel like we shouldn't have done as much on that first one. Probably
not, but it is what it is.
It is
man.
what it is. What it is. Yeah. So
you win some, you lose some.
Yeah.
Huh?
But because we thought they would cover. You know what? Yeah. I will give the Colts credit. I did not think they would. I don't know. I thought Phillip Rivers there was a pick 6 guaranteed.
Yeah.
There was not.
Yeah. What surprised me is I felt like kind of in the first half, the Bills just weren't able to move the ball like I thought they were going to be able to.
Yeah. They didn't establish
Josh Allen
any
didn't really
running.
do Josh Allen things until the second half to me. So
yeah, they didn't establish any run outside of Josh Allen, really.
Look, man, they don't have it.
No.
Singletary and Zach Moss is not the answer there.
And Moss is hurt now.
I'm sorry?
And Moss is hurt now, too.
Yeah, well, so interesting. They brought in Devontae Freeman.
Yeah.
Which, if anyone was sadly following the Giants this year, Freeman was actually playing very well for them.
He was.
I think he might be an interesting piece for them. He might end up being the best runner they have, weirdly. So I think it'll be interesting to see next game how they decide to use him and bring him along. But I think that's the one glaring thing that they need to take a look at come off season. Obviously, not talking about spending money because that's kind of a thing that Moneyball has decided and proven that it's not smart to pay running backs. But there's always guys that they can either draft, which obviously that's what they were trying to do with Zach Moss. And I will take credit, or not take credit, take blame here. I thought Zach Moss was going to be the best running back in this class. I liked him the most. I thought his coming out of college, I felt like his agility and ability to break tackles and make people miss was the best in the class, and I was wrong. So, I could not be wrong. Maybe he's got that in him still, but it doesn't look like that. I think they definitely need to readdress running back in the offseason. So.
Well, you know who I would be interested in if they went mid-late? Michael Carter from UNC.
Mm-hmm.
Or honestly, either the UNC running backs or Javonte Williams.
Yeah.
They are both very explosive guys.
Yeah, I think they need to they need to find someone that's more like and I know this is going to sound weird because he hasn't necessarily been the best running back for them, but I think they need to find a David Montgomery type that he's not necessarily, you're not depending on him to put up these massive numbers, but he's just consistent in what he does.
Okay.
He's a between the tackles runner, and he doesn't have to put up a huge number, huge stat line, but he has a good average. He runs hard, and he keeps the defenses honest at least. And I think that's someone they need to look for. It's a little consistency at that position.
Okay.
No boom or bust guys.
Gotcha. Well, I've got just a default CBS draft prospect ratings. I did not realize Ramondre Stevenson of OU is 246.
What? He's that big?
That's what CBS has him. 6 foot 246.
Whoa. Interesting.
Yeah.
That is massive.
Mm-hmm.
Is Sermon coming out?
I hadn't seen, but they have him listed.
I think Trey Sermon would be good for the Bills.
All right. I could see that.
Yeah.
My only, question at the end of the game, why was Phillip Rivers throwing a Hail Mary when you well know he can't throw it into the end zone?
That I don't know, but I hate the fact that they will switch him out for Brissett to throw Hail Marys. It bothers me. You might as well, but then I'm like, if you have a quarterback that can't throw the Hail Mary, why do you have... I should not be talking because I don't know that Breeze can throw a Hail Mary, but I've backed myself into a corner.
Yeah.
But I don't like the whole switching quarterback out just to throw a Hail Mary.
You do that with your deep balls with Taysom Hill.
It doesn't work though.
It doesn't.
That's why I don't like it because I have experience with it.
That's fair.
I know how it doesn't work.
That's fair. Well, we'll move on to the ugliest game, I think, is the Rams and Seahawks. You had good old Wolf of Wall Street, John Wolford, go out pretty early. Goff really shouldn't have been playing, just kind of there, and then not cooking Russ, 11 for 27, and just a ugly showing for the Seahawks.
Interesting comments by Pete Carroll after the game too, that he thinks that they needed to not a lot in a playoff game that you're losing in. You know what I mean? I feel like he should have been his numbers probably should have been closer to the 40s.
Yeah.
When you're losing a playoff game.
Well, they parted ways with Schottenheimer after the year.
Yeah, I don't know. The way Pete Carroll spoke makes me nervous for them for the future because look, obviously, I agree with Pete Carroll to some extent that obviously, yes, the running game opens up the passing game. Focusing on the running game is not a bad thing, but the way he spoke when Russell Wilson's only throwing 27 passes and you feel like you didn't focus on the run enough, well, how much more do you want to focus on the run?
Yeah.
You know? Now, granted, I will say that I don't necessarily think I don't know what time of possession was, but I imagine they lost that by quite a bit.
I will pull that up.
I'm gonna try to.
I'll pull that up. It was 33 to 26.
They lost or won
Lost it.
Oh, yeah, but that's not as bad as I thought it would be. But 25 attempts. They really didn't rush the ball that much.
Just didn't do anything.
No, what? How many plays did they run? They only ran 57 plays?
Rams ran 71.
57 plays, but had the ball for 26 minutes. That's interesting. Huh. Okay. I don't even really snap the ball quicker? What are we doing here? That means you ate up a lot of clock. Why are you eating up clock in a game that you're losing? Weird. And they never once led.
Nope.
So why are you eating up the clock? Yeah, I would say that's probably a fair firing of your offensive coordinator. You can't have things like that happen in the playoffs. Interesting. Huh. But anyways, Cam Akers had a great game. that's what we're worried about, I think. Cam had a good game. Goff played well enough, basically.
Well, the final game of the night, we had the Bucks win 31-23. Once again, we lost again, twice in the day, 3 times. Actually, we lost on all 3 games, didn't we?
Yeah, we did not do well.
Yeah. Anyways, Taylor Heineke, look at that. Look at the backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Having people
playing his butt off.
He did. Still need to draft a quarterback, but you know what? He can hang around.
I'm glad he gets the Dom stamp of approval.
Yeah, he can hang around.
No, yeah, absolutely. He played his heart out,
That's it. That's the type of backup quarterback you want, where he at least can
totally
step in, make some plays. Obviously, you're not going to want to depend on him for a full year, but if you have to use him 2-3 games, you'll survive.
Yeah, and then on the flip side, you got to look at it and say, how did we let Heineke almost beat us?
That's true. Tom Brady throwing for 381 in a playoff game. I guess you can't say last playoff game was it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. That's kind of a weird game for them to me. I don't know. They're getting Devin White back this week.
Yep.
And one other defender. Pierre-Paul, maybe?
Oh, I can't remember. I'm going blank. I remember seeing that too.
Yeah, it's Devin White and somebody else, but
Pierre-Paul is questionable. Carlton Davis.
He's questionable.
Let's see. All the injury report is. I'll pull the full injury report. There's a lot of questionable.
Oh, Steve McClendon is coming back.
Okay.
But Devin White and McClendon got back from COVID list. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, well that's good then. That's what I was just gonna try to find. All right. Yeah, that will definitely be interesting for sure on that. How much that does.
Yeah,
affect.
that helps their run game a whole lot, which is
obviously Devin
what
White's
you
great.
want to be helping against.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sideline like a madman, which obviously is something you want to have on tap whenever you're playing Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
That should help them a lot, sadly.
And then we had Sunday. The Ravens got their revenge versus the Titans after 2 rough games this regular season and the playoffs last year. Lamar gets that first playoff win, and the Ravens get just their overall revenge, as this will be an interesting rivalry moving forward, as the Titans have disrespected the Ravens, so the Ravens decided to disrespect the Titans and stomp on their logo. And Lamar said doesn't need to shake hands with them after the game because of how disrespectful they are. So this will be fun moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, this game can pretty much get summed up in one thing. Titans go up 10-0. Anytime the Titans have a 10-0 lead, they should win the game. Period.
Yeah.
They should win the game because they have Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry only runs for 40 yards, and there you go. That's how they lost. They couldn't get the reason that they're there going, and that reason is if there's one player probably in the entire NFL that you want on your team when you have a lead, it's probably Derrick Henry, and he didn't do what he does. So, I mean, obviously, that I'm not going to blame him completely for that. That's an offensive line problem as well. But, you know, I mean, that's pretty much what you can sum this game up. I still don't believe the Ravens are – I don't think they're going to win this week.
Yeah, that's fair.
Spoiler alert.
There's your pick.
Yeah.
Well, and then we had the afternoon on Nickelodeon.
I watched it on Nickelodeon. I ended up switching it back.
We had slime touchdowns. We had the first F-bomb in Nickelodeon history thanks to Cordell Patterson and the MVP, Mitch Trubisky. And
Such
the
a
Saints
meme.
win 21-9.
Wasn't it Barstool? I was told by Caleb that was Barstool that got that going.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, apparently like PFT and Big Cat were like, "Hey, we gotta get this."
That's what. And then my favorite thing was all the memes of just during the game of just like, or throughout the game of, how is Nickelodeon going to teach kids about and for different random football things about how the Bears screwed up with Mitch Trubisky instead of picking Watson and Mahomes. How the what was the other one I saw that was really good? How is Nickelodeon going to teach kids what is a catch and what isn't?
Yeah. Well, luckily, Saints came out ahead. Luckily for me, at least. Sorry, Bears fans. But there's a couple defining plays in that game. Obviously, Wims drops a touchdown catch, and then there was some rough third downs for our Mr. Trubisky that probably could have swayed the game, but it is what it is. I think the Bears or the Saints handled them pretty well. It actually could have been worse. The Taysom Hill play where he got intercepted, it got tipped, or he got his hand hit and it got picked off. That actually was a touchdown play.
Oh, it was.
He had Deontay Harris wide open down the field. If he would have got that ball off, most likely he would have hit him. Hopefully.
Well, if you were listening to, I don't know if you had switched over or not, but as Romo said, that's an issue there. Obviously, I mean, is if Taysom's development is he's not anticipating that guy is getting open, he's waiting for him to get open, and that, I mean, granted, that fumble was just he got his arm in there, but like that's true. If he is anticipating that he is getting open, he gets that ball off before he does get hit.
Yeah. No, I did not. I was very much watching Nickelodeon. But no, that, and then also just there wasn't a lot of pocket awareness going on. I felt like the way Taysom's body was turned with him being a righty, he should have been able to see that guy coming.
Yeah.
And probably should have seen him a few steps away from hitting him and have enough time to at least climb the pocket a little bit, or just go ahead and load up and throw it. And he just, took a half second too long. I don't know if maybe he did see him and he thought he still had some time, or if he was just completely oblivious to him. But either way, it doesn't matter. Still won the game. But the thing that worries me the most coming out of this game is the fact that our kicker, Will Lutz, has actually got a pretty bad case of the yips right now. And he is missing some field goals that he would usually hit. And that is not something you want come playoff time. I'll just say that. He's been missing a lot of field goals that he should be hitting, and that really worries me going forward.
Yeah, that's fair. I was going to say, last things on this game, you aren't ever going to win going 1 for 10 on third downs. And
Correct.
The Bears are who we thought they were.
Yeah.
Frauds.
Yep. Yes, they are. Oh, by the way, real quick, I have to do this on air. I didn't say this earlier, and I should have. Remember that one time you and Caleb were acting like I was crazy for saying Doug Peterson would get fired or should get fired?
I thought, well, I mean, granted, we also didn't think a Eagles coup was going to happen.
I'm just saying, man. Just saying. He needed to go. It was time.
Fair enough.
It was time.
And the best game of the night. The Browns get a playoff win. And the Steelers get sent home. And that just, if that doesn't put a smile on your face, then you're a bandwagon Steelers fan.
If that doesn't put a smile on your face, don't worry. They kept talking trash after they already lost.
Yeah, man, I feel like as a biased Michigan fan, when players like Notre Dame and Ohio, when your rivals players come out in pros, you're obviously going to be open for them to be on your team. But
yeah,
as much as I hate it, I will still take the Ohio State player on the Lions if they're going to make them better. But man, I don't usually. Notre Dame players still rub me the wrong way, even in the pros. 90% of them, 90% of them, they still bother me in the pros.
Yeah.
And what do you know, Chase Claypool just not a likable person for me. Just arrogant.
Not really. Most of that Steelers team, you know what it is honestly Tomlin has it.
Yeah.
He's kind of arrogant.
Yeah.
He's got other likable traits though that I think balance him out.
Yeah, he balances himself out.
But his players have not figured that out yet.
Dropatron, Eric Ebron runs his mouth and he leads the league and drops pretty much every time.
Yep.
Claypool talking about the Browns will get clapped and it's a bad loss. Like, you didn't just lose to the same Browns team.
Yeah, and also, okay, if they get clapped, what does that say about you?
Yeah, it's a really bad loss then, if that's what it says about you.
Yeah.
You guys don't show up.
What if they get clapped by the Chiefs, and then the Chiefs get whipped by the Bills? What about then? Huh? What are you?
Yep.
What?
Yeah. But good for the Browns. Look at that.
Good for the Browns. Good for the Bake Show.
Yeah, Baker has
Bake Show ensured that he's got more commercials on the way.
Yes, need some more of those progressive commercials.
Yep.
They're great. I don't know about you, but they are.
The world thought they were going to be done this season. Oh no, they're coming back strong.
I love the little subtle dig at Colin Cowherd after the game. I don't know if you saw.
Yeah, he put his backwards cap on.
Wait, give me a second and put it on backwards. Yeah.
Yep.
With an odd rivalry too. Talk about random on-field rivalries, and then you have off-field Baker Mayfield versus Colin Cowherd.
Yep, so strange.
Yeah. But, I guess the last thing I want to say, not even really about the game, is with Stefanski obviously not being able to be there and watching the basement, I don't know if you saw where he knew something was up right into the game because apparently his basement TV is on a 45-second delay, they said. So he heard his whole family jumping up and down after the first snap, and he could hear them but had no idea what was going on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then that one's like, at halftime, how many beers deep is Stefanski in celebrating?
A lot.
So, good for the Browns. So, we'll move forward then, and it's playoff picks again for the divisional round. Do we have another cheesy name for this one? I don't think so.
I sure hope not.
So, we have Saturday, Rams, Packers, Ravens, Bills, and Sunday, Browns, Chiefs, Bucks, Saints, Part 3. We'll start it off real quick on Saturday. Rams and Packers. Do the Rams cover the 6.5? I think we'll just go there.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah. I'm leaning that way too. Rams have a great defense, as much as you didn't want to give them credit for it.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Don't see much enough offense. Though.
No. And I like the Packers defense, obviously a significant amount more than the Seahawks defense. And I think the Packers have the ability to slow down Cam Akers, which means it's got to be Goff, and I don't believe in Goff. So, I think Packers, and I think Packers probably by 10.
Okay. Oh, so you do have them covering the 6.5. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. We have Ravens Bills. Bills leading that or spread at 2.5. As you already alluded to, I will jump on and I will go Bills win as well. I don't really think I have much to say. I mean, I think it'll still be a good game, but like I said, the Ravens just got a lot of wins versus bad teams. And the Bills are just, I know they had a little off that first playoff game this year's, but I think they'll get rolling and have a great game.
Yeah. I think Bills win that. I'll definitely have them cover in that -2.5.
Yep. And then we got Sunday, like I mentioned, Browns Chiefs at -10 for Kansas City, and I think the Browns can keep it within that 10. I think the Chiefs will win. I think the Chiefs have been kind of just chilling, cruising through. I think obviously they'll have to. It is playoffs, so you do kind of have to finally step it up a little. But the Chiefs have been playing a lot of close games, so I think the Browns can. If you give me 10, especially if it gets up to 10.5, I think that'll be perfect for the Browns. And whatever the over is, I'm probably saying over because I can't remember where I saw it, but Andy Reid's teams after a bye week where the regular season or playoffs, it's like averaging like 40 points or something like that.
Yeah. I like the Browns to potentially cover, just because I think Chubb and Kareem Hunt give you the ability to slow the game down significantly.
Yeah,
and I like their chances if they can slow the game down against the Chiefs, because I'm not too confident in the Chiefs' running game right now.
No.
And I think the Browns could fare decently well in a slowed down paced game against them. I don't think they'll win, but I think they could cover and make it a good game at least.
Fair enough.
So.
Well, all right. Well, this last 2.5 minutes, part 3, as the meme was tweeted out by Brady and then by Breeze as well. It will be on the History Channel.
Yeah, it's kind of shocking that this is the first time they've played each other in the playoffs. Me and Rooney kind of discussed that there was actually we counted 4 different times probably should have met the Pats in the playoffs. Where they or in the Super Bowl, some weird stuff happened and Saints get knocked out. But I'll say this: it's hard to beat a team twice in the NFL in one season. It's damn near impossible to beat them 3.
Yeah.
This game worries me a lot.
Yeah.
Now, this is the first time we've actually played them healthy. We played them healthy in the first few minutes of the first game. Michael Thomas goes out. Defenders go out. A lot of our defense was out in the second game, and Michael Thomas was out in the second game. We are almost at full health. If Trey Hendrickson plays, which it looks like he's leaning towards playing this week, we will be at full health. And I like that possibility. But this game makes me nervous. It really does. That's the thing that just sticks out in my head so much is beating a team 3 times in one season. I don't know how many times it's been done, but it can't be a lot.
Yeah.
There's no way it's happened a lot.
With that is why I am going Bucks.
Yeah, that's fair. I gotta take my Saints. I have to, but I am more nervous about. This was the single game that I was the most nervous about having to play out of every possibility in this playoffs. I am more nervous about this game than I think I would be playing in this. I just don't like our odds in this game. I really don't. But I'm gonna believe in us. I'm gonna say we win, and we do not cover the spread.
That's fair as well.
It'll be close. Yeah.
All right. Well, we will then catch everyone back here for a divisional round recap and look ahead for conference championships. We'll see what other maybe breaking news we'll have to add in. Any other maybe big trades happening or signings. Maybe your Mets do get that extra player or two. So catch us next week again. We talk sports good here on 12 Ounce Sports. Have a great rest of your night.